Hello, this is a short note on chart management in qtVlm using the optional chart groups. And I present this now because I want to use this feature in a later video. So just to be sure that we have a demonstration of this for the students in the course. So when we load our charts, we load them. So if I go up here, let me just go to this. Go to configuration. Then you go to charts, and then you go to the raster and vectors, and this is how you structure what you want to see, how they appear. But the folders button here is where you assign the charts, or you're basically telling qtVlm where the charts are located. And in this case, this is the demonstration of that. These will all be blank when you get the program from scratch, and then these will be these are options for storing the charts within the qtVlm folder, within the main folder of qtVlm. And we actually in the course recommend that we store our charts all in the same folder, but somewhere outside of qtVlm. That helps backing up things, so forth. So we don't use those two. And in this program, blue is on, that is off. And so these are folders here. And let's just see if I can just take a quick look here. Here's where the charts are stored on this computer. They're in the documents, charts, and then we recommend that you put the charts all in the same folder, and this is in the folder documents charts. But then inside that folder there are subfolders, and then inside of that folder, where are these training charts here? Inside of that, then there are also folders, ENCs, RNCs, and so forth. So here's where you assign the charts, like that. And so if we want to look at just one of these, then if we assign this folder, sample training charts, that will give us everything in here. But if we step down and assign this as a folder, then we only see what's in that folder with that button. So that's that. So here, for example, here's all the training charts and so forth. So here then is some sample, and then to see these have to be turned on, right? If I have that turned off, I'm not going to ever see them. So one of the things that we're doing with these chart groups basically can always be done by just assigning the folder or the subfolder up here and turning it on or off. So this function, you have to see what your needs are and whether or not it's helpful or in the way. But there are cases where it is helpful. For example, because it also makes, if you have a lot of charts and you're switching back and forth, it makes that process easier. For example, if I just want to look at NOAA catalog, I would have to come in here and uncheck everything and then check this one. Whereas if I did this, let's do this. Let me make a group. I'm going to say here, I've got them loaded, NOAA catalog, so I can turn them on here. But I could come down here and say add a group. Okay, I'm going to add a group, and it's going to be called NOAA catalog. NOAA catalog, and that's a catalog. Okay, and that's the program I'm leading up to. I mean the demo I want to show later about how this feature works. It's a way to download your charts directly from NOAA and keep them up to date automatically and so on. So here's NOAA catalog now, but there's nothing in it. I haven't assigned anything to it. The name is there. For example, I can say OK. And then say OK again, and I can go out here to the program, charts, chart groups, vectors and charts. There's NOAA catalog, but there's nothing there. I mean, whatever I'm trying to see is going to go away. Okay, and I can do a shortcut here. This is Alt-Control-V. Takes me back to this page, and I can go into the folders. Now I can go back to this NOAA catalog, highlight it, and I'm going to say, then highlight this one, NOAA catalog, and then add to group. What group is it going to add to? The one that's highlighted. So add to group, add to group. Okay, now when I look at this, then then these charts are there, and that will work. So that's the way that you build a group. And the next thing, what did I want to do? Oh, the other thing too is, here's a case where I have here's called the ENC only and RNC only. I could make a group, add group, and just say, I'll call it TRAI, training charts dash all. Now, in that case, okay, that's that group. So there's a group. So I can highlight that group, and then I come up here, and here's just the ENCs, and I want to add to group down here, add it. So that's now added that, and I can keep that highlighted, and I go up here, RNC, add to group. So now they're there. Now I can look at the training charts or all or so forth. Okay, so that's the way this process works, and then you access them you turn them on and off with the chart manual up on the top there. I mean, with the menu bar at the top. What I want to show here is what the virtues of this process. Let's see what I have. I just made some notes here, and then this is where I'll end. What are the reasons that might lead you to using the chart groups? One of them, if you're doing the core, makes chart filtering faster if you have a lot of charts, and you can either limit which ones you're seeing, you can separate out groups, and you can combine groups. So it's just if you have a lot of charts. In a sense, the idea here with this note is to know this option exists, but just let it go and wait till you see your chart management issue calls for some kind of extra help, and then this chart groups might do it. But already, if you're taking our course and doing navigation at the same time, then you do almost already have a way to start thinking about using it. Namely, you can separate training charts from real charts. Like, for example, I have in my NOAA catalog all the Washington State latest up-to-date charts. But at the same time, we use those same charts as a fixed frozen-in-time training charts version, and I don't want to mix those up. I don't want to end up trying to work some exercise on a chart that's new and the features changed or something like that. So, but at the same time, when I navigate, I don't want to navigate on the old charts. So you can then just, by going, then you're just up here, and let me just close this and close. Okay. Okay. And then go charts. You see chart groups. Wait a minute, chart groups. Vector. So I can either go to training charts. Training charts all did not get there. Okay, now why did that happen? Let's take a quick look. Go to folders. Here's training charts. Oh, okay. There's two OKs to push here. So let me say add a group. Let me do it again. TRAIN, training charts dash all. I'd like to say I do this on purpose to demonstrate type of errors you made, but in this case I just simply made a mistake. Okay, here's that, and then I want to add to that ENC, add to group, and then RNC, add to group. There. Now, let's see, they're both there. That's training chart all. Now, look, I've got to be careful with my OKs. I got one OK to get out of here, then I got to be sure that I do OK to get out of here. Now, when I come up here, charts, chart groups, vector charts, training charts all. So that's a little pitfall. You just have to watch for that. And so now you see what I can do is if I'm going to be doing training for the course, I'll do training charts. And then for when I'm navigating my boat, I'll go to NOAA catalog. Okay, so that's that. So this, let me just see where we are here. So you separate out training charts. Here's another place where a practical application is. And I use this. For example, I have a set of charts, an old set of beautiful old Canadian RNC charts. That's all of the west coast of Canada. Back from the days when we did training trips, where we took students on the water training trips from Seattle to Petersburg twice a year. So I have all of those. But those were back in the day when those charts were not copy protected. So I still have a set of those old charts. But right now, modern Canadian charts are very expensive. So I have just a handful of selected ones that are the real up-to-date charts that are for the crucial points. So in this case, I can have two folders. I can have one folder of my old charts that cover everything, every single chart there. And then I have my new charts, which are the key ones. And then when you're navigating underway, you don't want to have to go in and click all those buttons. I can just go in the charts menu and click on and off and mix them up that way. You can also separate RNC and ENC, but you have other ways to do that because this is the RNCs and this is the ENCs here. So there are different, you can do that, but it's not exactly the same. And you can also, the other thing that I'm just looking ahead to see where this application might come into play. You can limit the search when you're searching a chart by object name. We can search all charts. That's one way. We can search all charts that are S57 charts, or we can search just ones in a window that we make. But there's a third way that you can actually not rely on having to make a particular window, but you can just set your limits in the chart groups. Okay, combine. Okay, and then other things. I have like a French inland rivers charts, and I have the German inland rivers charts. And if I want to put them both together, I could just click them. All right, that's the charts objects. Now, the other thing too is to be careful. Once you do start using chart groups, you have to be careful that the charts are, the chart groups are showing. Chart groups are showing, or you're not gonna get your charts. Or just go up here and be sure to just turn on all charts. Okay, that's that note on the chart groups. Thank you.